I'm Brian Hendricks, and we're mounting this red fox. I've been blow drying that out. You can see how fluffy it is now. We've got all that under fur fluffed out or dried all the way to the bottom, or, to the skin, which is what you want to get good loft. And we're going to move on to working on the toes now and getting those situated. So I guess we'll start. I've already worked on this one here a bit. It's pretty much how I want it. As we do each of these feet, we got to keep in mind what's going on with this animal, and he's coming uphill on this, standing up on this piece of wood. He's a little bit wobbly on here, but a lot of that'll firm up as he dries and everything. Anyway, so keep in mind as you're positioning toes. Remember, we put those rolls of clay or worms of clay in there. I called them when I was doing it. So I can feel that clay in each one of these. And you can kind of see how we've got 4 long toes there sticking out. Well, we want to recreate that joint that's in about the middle of that toe there. So I'm going to push down on the top and push up in the middle with this tool, just to kind of help create a knuckle there in that joint. I did the 2 inside ones. There's an outside one over there, which I'll probably turn this thing around and work on it the other way. We'll create that one right there. Okay, so now we've created the knuckles on that foot. Like I said, keep in mind, I'm just going to define the definition between each one now a little bit better here. It's hard to see what's going on that one from this side, so I'll have to look at it again from the other side. Okay, there would be a really relaxed foot where these 2 center toes are nice and just right together and everything. But this fox, he's got a lot of weight on that foot right there. He just stepped up with it. So I'm going to actually pull those up a little bit. I'm going to splay those just a little bit, just to show that it's got a little more weight bearing on it than just really standing there relaxed. We'll spread those, and I'm going to have to, like I say, readjust the other ones from the other side where I can see what's going on better from over there. The toenails are just touching. The pads are right down on the wood with the toenails touching. At this angle, you can also see some of the detail when we were going over this before, some of the detail where the hock is there. Also, a fox has these little flaps of skin right in front of both back feet there. They've also got it right up here. There's just where the skin kind of webs like, and so I've kind of pinched the skin there and kind of created that. That's just little details that helps make the mount look that much more convincing later. I'll turn this a little bit and we'll work on this other back foot here. I'm going to reach around this way just so you can see a little bit better. There's our four toes again. I'm going to pull them out first just to make sure I got definition. I can feel those rolls of clay in there, so I've got clay in there for each toe. Again, I'm going to reach clear over to do this outside one first, and I'm just going to bend down on that to try to force that, make that knuckle there. Now the next one, get in there, get in there, and the last one here. So there we've kind of created the joints. Now force that definition in between each toes. You want to kind of, that light haired fur, that needs to tuck in between so that just the dark hair is coming down the top of the toe. Okay. Again, he's coming off of this foot, but there is a certain amount of weight on it still. So I do want that foot to look like it's got some weight on it. So we'll keep those splayed out just a little bit. I'll spin it around and we'll do those same feet from the other side now. Keep messing with them until they're convincing. Okay, that's not bad. See how high that one is there? Obviously that toe needs to come way down and be on the wood base itself. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll make a little bit better definition right here if I can. Going down onto that toe. Just pressing. Remember, we've got some a little bit of caulking in there, and then that clay where we flattened it up on top of the foot is still there too, so we can get a little bit of a crease there. Make sure the toenails are straight too, that they're not going off at angles from the toe. That looks pretty good. It's hard for me to work on it from these angles so that you can see, so I'll probably touch those up a little bit more after I'm don't have a camera over my shoulder. Same thing here, we'll do that one again. Couldn't see it very well from the other side, but see, there's the brown hair I'm talking about. We want to get that brown hair. I'll do this from the other side, left-handed here. We want that brown hair there to be in the crack there between the two toes, with just the dark hair up on top of it. There it's spun. So there's the outside of the toe. There's what it should look like. Splay those just a little bit. Give them a little bit of purchase there. I still like that one. A little more knuckle right there if I can. So it looks like it's really grasping a little bit. There we go. He's on there. And that toe needs to blend right into that foot. So if there's any lumps at all where they join the foot, smooth those out. Okay, there's a detail there. Okay, this foot here obviously is holding nothing. There's no weight on it at all. I should almost lay that thing upside down so you can see it, but I really don't want to mess the fur all up again. So we're going to do it from the back side here, and you're going to see what's happening. Now this one, as I tuck those and create those same joints, you're going to see what happens. Excuse me. You're going to see, watch this toe here, as I create that joint down here, I'm going to push down here, and it's forcing that pad in that way. Okay. There's the foot pad, is right there. And then here's your toe pads. So when you bring these together, you should have your two toe pads, and these two center toes, the toenails should be right together in just a relaxed position. They should actually be all but touching, and sometimes they do touch. They come right together and almost touch right there. Even on a relaxed foot that's on the ground, they can sometimes be touching on a fox, or coyote, wolf. So. Okay, we've got these toes pretty good here. The pads and everything is in place. Now this particular form here, this is the same kind of leg, same position. I think it's a size or two smaller, but anyway. This form, it's got that, where the pad of the foot is, it's got that pad built up pretty good, sculpted up on there pretty good, so I didn't even actually have to add any clay to that one. A lot of the forms won't have that built up, so you'll need to add a chunk of clay on there. And sometimes it's like a little triangle shape, which is the shape of the pad right there. And sometimes you'll need to add that on there. That would make it a little bit extreme putting it on this one here with that much already sculpted on there. But anyway, so you'd add some clay there. And if you were looking at the video earlier when we were doing the toes, how I laid the rolls of clay and stuff into the skin to create the toes, and then we had the flat area that we blended up on top of the foot. That's what I'm representing right here. So I'm going to give you an idea of what I just did right here with all these feet. Here's the individual toes inside there, and I was reaching underneath to create the knuckles and pushing up in the middle and down on both ends to create the bends in those toes. Oh, jeez, it's a lot harder without this being in the skin. But anyway, give you an idea there. The center two toes are longer, and those knuckles are going to show up more than the outside two toes, to give you an idea of what we've got going. There's pretty much, in this foot here, when it's folded up, just like this one is, these toe pads are not very far away from that foot pad right there. And they're very much in that position right there. That's very similar to what we just created inside that skin. So that's kind of how we do the feet. So like I say, keep in mind what each of these feet are doing when you're putting together a mount, how much weight's on them, whether they're up, they're down, the toes are splayed. I moved that toe a little bit. Look them all over. Again, go over that, and that's another good thing to look at the next day. Make sure something didn't move or you didn't bump things, and just keep an eye on things and get your reference out. And Just try to make them look as natural as you can.